morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Good morning. As we get in, if you don't mind, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live. It'll push us out to the FYP. Excuse me. We're going to go ahead and get started here. As you guys know, this is Sparring, all right? Sparring with Santana. We're looking for some debates. And the wonderful thing about looking for debates is you don't have to be quote unquote ops to join the debates. The only thing that I actually need is for someone to disagree with anything on the background. So if you are a Trump supporter, get in the box. Or if you're someone that disagrees with anything on the background, get in the box, right? We are here because it's time to end the war. And when I say time to end the war, I mean that for with a couple of different things. We need to remove the U.S. global presence. We need to cut ties with Israel. We need to ban all politicians that are APEC politicians. We need to remove white men from power. And we also need to cut the military budget. So if you disagree with any of that, get in the box. We're looking for some debates. Let's get after it.
You stepped in the box. Now you're in the ring. Ain't no hugs here. You better take your best swing. Mike Hot, who wanna step in the flame? This ain't a debate, this a mind game. Facts type lies, get left in chain. One wrong word, get slapped out your name. This ain't TikTok T, this a war zone talk. No script, no filter, no safe walk. Bring stats to get scrambled like a glitch. I got fire in my mouth like I came from the pit. Yeah, step in if you dare. Truth hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, guys. Tap the screen.
Better know yourself or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna? Sparring with Santana. I don't care what you claim or your background. Facts only, if not, get clapped down. Whether you're left or right or you don't even vote. If your logic is weak, I'll sink your boat. You talk slick, but you ain't got source. Just vibes, that ain't power, that's force. I'm the test, the trap, the trip, the call. You slip once, I'm snatching it all. Yeah. Step in if you dare. If you dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. Yeah. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield.
Hey guys, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the love you very much. Can we knock those out, please?
You wanna sparring with Santana. Step in if you dare. You dare. Hit hard like a punch in the air. Ain't no rules, no plan, no script. One wrong move, get cooked real quick. No cap, no shield. Better know your stuff or you get revealed. Step in, don't you wanna sparring with Santana. Yeah, this ain't a safe place.
It is not.
This is flame space.
It absolutely is.
Don't you wanna sparring with Santana?
Guys, welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. This is Sparring with Santana. One-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. And if you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. I mean, guys, can we knock out the daily gift goal? It's the little love you very much. Can we knock those out, please? I'm going to keep resetting the daily gift goal to the little 1 cent gift goals, and we can knock those out a couple of times. It'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. With that being said, let's go ahead and get after it. See if this person loads. Cody, it looks like you're not loading. So if you are still here, you can request backup. We'll get you in here. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Absolutely.
Okay. Is it Mr. Hoist? What is your Hoist?
Yeah, my name is Mr. Hoist. No, but it's actually my father's name, but yeah.
Okay. Would you mind if I call you Hoist?
Of course.
All right, perfect. Hoist, we're gonna go ahead and start it here, but before we go too far, quick question for you. Do you know who I am?
No, I actually have no idea who you are.
Okay, cool. Listen, I don't blame you.
You kind of.
Would you mind if I give you a quick introduction to who I am and what this is?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. One moment, guys. Let's get after it.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event. Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this? Guys, welcome in. This is a Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. I am Santana, guys. Only get in the box if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live. Send your daily heart me. It's only one coin. It'll boost the live. Make sure we're knocking out the daily gift goal. Right now, it's the little chili peppers. If we can knock those out a couple of times, it'll boost the live, push us out to the FYP. We have Hoist here. And Hoist, you said you are a Trump supporter, and I would love to hear. I got a couple of different things on the background. I think it's time for us to end the war, but I would love to hear what you disagree with the most, where we can start.
Well, remove white men from power.
Okay. So why do you disagree with the point that we need to remove white men from power?
Because this country was always ran by white men. It was always ran by white folk. By the way, what was that intro that you wanted to introduce me to yourself? You wanted to like do an introduction. What are you? A boxer? Like what are you?
Oh no, this is Sparring with Santana, one-on-one debates with Trump supporters or anyone that disagrees with anything on the background. You just stepped into the ring, and so you're sparring with me.
Oh, this is sparring?
Sparring with Santana, absolutely.
Did you like
wait,
did fighter?
Did you hear the theme music when you heard the song?
Yeah.
I have an actual intro song.
No, that's cool. But like, are you a fighter? Are you like something like that? Like, have you ever fought professionally or amateur?
Never professionally or amateur. I've sparred quite often. Boxing, kickboxing, Aikido. I tried jiu-jitsu a little bit, but that wasn't for me. But yeah.
Yeah, I didn't vote for Trump. I don't understand your argument of you need to remove white men from power. That's kind of just like a bait to get, people upset. Seems.
I don't think so. I mean, I think it's actually you don't like obvious. But finish telling me why you disagree with that, because you I feel like you were getting ready to make my point, but go ahead.
Why on a country that was built on like, the back of slavery, I can understand where you're like coming from, but nah. Keep the white men in power. I mean, what do you want? I don't know what you want me to say. Like what? Like remove white? Like give me a reason why you think we should get rid of these white men.
Okay. Hoyt, you said you didn't vote for Trump. Are you someone that votes, or you like? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I vote. System? Yeah, I vote.
Who'd you vote for in the last election, if you don't mind me asking?
Kamala.
Okay. Well, by your answer, I'm pretty sure you voted for Trump, but it's all good. Like, that doesn't really matter. What do you think about the current state of our country? Like, are you happy overall with everything that's happening and where we are today?
Why would I be happy?
That's just the question.
I don't know. You people seem to like making assumptions on like, I don't want you to get it twisted or confused and think like
I didn't make an assumption. I just said, are
agreeing with you, or that I don't want you to think that I agree with the majority of what you agree with, or like anything that Kamala Harris agrees with, or anything from that party.
Hey, Hoyt, what's so hard about Kamala?
Hold on. If you're gonna correct me and shit, look.
Listen,
now you're getting it because no. Now you're
sensitive. Please don't crash in. We just started speaking. Slow down for a second. I haven't even gotten out of the box. Just slow down.
Because where are you from? We could have a real sparring match.
Okay, you're an internet tough guy. Ooh, no one cares. Like, lock the fuck in. You're crashing in already.
Match.
Like you are an adult. Hey, Hoyt, you are an adult.
Well, think about it. Think about it. If your opinion is right, if your opinion is right, then why would I beat the shit out of you?
Okay. No one's scared of you. This is the internet, and you're not tough.
You should.
Shut up. You're an adult. Please act like an adult. You're literally crashing in because I said, do you like where the country is? Yes, you're in New York, sure. No one's scared. Like, if you can't be an adult and have a conversation, then you can leave. Like, no one is saying, oh, come fight me. We're on the fucking internet, bro. Stop it. Stop it. Now, stop it. Yes, you'll kick my ass, sure. Okay, I hear you. Fine. I'm so scared. Oh, please don't hurt me. Now, can you please just answer the question? Are you happy with where the country is today?
No, nigga.
Okay. All right. So also, no one is worried about you trying to actually say nigger or trying to hide it with nigga. That's not going to trigger me either. What you're showing is that you have the inability to actually have a conversation. And also, let's say this, right? You came up here and you said that the name is Mr. Hoyt, which that's your dad, right? Listen, your father would be so disappointed in you. He would be so disappointed in the not man, but the boy that you've grown up to be. The fact that you have an inability to actually have a conversation, you came up here and you crashed in. And just for me saying, like, are you happy where the country is? And the fact that I said you need to actually correct the way that you're saying a simple word, right? Your dad would be so ashamed of you. He would have wished that he would have actually put you in that sock instead of whatever
fucking kill you
today. I know.
I'll fucking kill you.
I know. You're crashing out. But listen, you would have done the world a whole better deal as far as being a stain on the rug than what you are right now. You would have been in a better place if you were just a crunchy sock. But you're not. You're a disappointment that we have to listen to here. But actually, you're not a disappointment that we have to listen to here because guess what? We don't have to listen to you because I can mute you. Now, you came up here and you tried to actually get on some disrespectful shit, not understanding who you were talking to or who you were dealing with. And so since you know now, I know you're crashing out. It's so tough. It's so tough to be a frail, fragile white man. It's so hard to be a victim. That's all you guys are. You guys are victims. You guys are victims, right? You have everything. You built everything. You do. Oh, I'm so macho. I can do this. But yet the only thing you do is crash out. You're a weak, insignificant white man. And guess what? You can go be a stain on the rug somewhere else. The crash-in is wild. The crash-in is wild. He lost it because I said, are you happy where the country is today? And he tried to lie. I voted for Kamala. Fuck out of here. We see you. Like, if you're going to lie, actually make sure that you cover your own ass. Also, no one's scared. We're on the internet, bro. We're literally on the internet. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
I'm a Trump supporter and I do disagree with. Why move white men from power? Remove white men from power. Like all of them or just some of them?
All of them.
And then replace them with who?
Anyone that's not a white man.
Anyone that's not a white man. Wow. And that goes for all the countries in the world or just America?
Oh no, I'm only talking about the United States of America. I don't like want to talk about other countries. Also, we're the one that's at war. So I'm talking about like what I can do to help our country.
And you think that removing all the white men from power would help the country?
I think that's one thing. I think we have to do all the other things on the background as well. But yeah, that's a good first step.
Wow. And so are you saying that the country would be better with either a bunch of women in power, or black men, or Asian men, or Latino men, or also other, other types of women?
Yeah. Yeah. The country would literally be better if anyone else except white men were in power.
Wow. I don't even know where to start from that, but
would you like to start by telling me, because you came up here and we're kind of doing 21 questions, which I don't mind answering some of your questions, but would you like to actually, tell me why you disagree with it, or would you like for me to tell you why I say that? Or, I mean, because you kind of got an understanding as far as why, but I haven't really said like everything. So you just tell me where you want to go.
Yeah, it's a good question. First of all, I want to mention that I actually don't have much time on here. I got a few minutes, but I would like to mention a couple of things with
Sure.
that. It's kind of racist, wouldn't you say?
No, that's not racist.
Because you're basically saying we should, remove all the people of one race and one gender. It's also sexist as well.
No, it's not racist nor sexist. One, like that's not how racism works, but also two, I'm not doing it based off of any like preconceived prejudice. I'm actually doing it based off of prior knowledge. That's why I said, would you like to know why I have that listed, or if you just want to get into it? But again, no, it's not racist nor sexist. It's actually like logical. It's very logical.
Well, so what about your buddy Dean? Is he in a position of power? Would you remove him and replace him with someone, black? Parker as well?
If they were in a position of power, yeah, for sure.
I would argue that they are in a, they're in a position of influence. They have 3 million, they have millions of followers. They get millions of views. That's technically a position of power, wouldn't you say?
No, I would say that's a position of influence. Now, if they had any type of power, i.e., the ability to affect the daily lives of the subsistence existence of Americans, sure. So if Dean was the Secretary of Defense and Parker was the Secretary of State, then I'll say, yeah, get both of them up out of here. And you know what's funny about that question? Both Dean and Parker, one would listen to my logic as far as why I say that, but two, they would agree with me. I know that for a fact. All right, even more so, I know that because both of them actually watch my lives and they see this and they know where I stand, and they actually text me while I'm live and laugh at people who don't get it. So they get it.
That's surprising. I mean, I wouldn't know until they really admit that, saying that. That's fine. Kind of really weird on their part.
That's fine. You still don't know my logic. You just came up here and you see something on the background that made you feel a little uncomfy, and you immediately made assumptions without actually trying to understand it.
Yeah, go ahead and tell me your logic.
IQ. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead and tell me your logic.
Sure. So the place, hey, thank you for the mic. The place that we are in right now with a war that's raging, and the fact that we are in a constant conflict, is due to the fact that we have white men in power. And even more so throughout the history of our country, the place that we're in, that we people aren't happy, right? Like the economy is shit. Healthcare is unaffordable. People can't actually attain food. Upward mobility is not a thing. Like our country rates at the top of like the charts when it comes to multiple negative indicators. And a lot of people like to say, oh, it's the Republicans' fault. And some people like to say, oh, it's the Democrats' fault. But the one thing that no one can actually dispute is that it's white men's fault. And when I say that, I'm not saying like, oh, blame the white man. I'm saying like literally over the 250-year history of our country, 90% of all Congress has been white men. That's House, Senate, or presidency, 90% over 250 years. And so looking at the raging conflict that's happening today, it was actually perpetuated by a white Jewish man in Bibi Netanyahu. It was supported by a white orange man in Donald Trump. It's actually also supported by a drunk white man, Pete Hegseth, and all the other people that continue to actually perpetuate harm. So the point that I actually am getting to is that the problem is white men. Hey, hand rowdy or whatever. Hey, no one cares about you saying leave in the comments. I'm gonna mute you. Get up here and tell me about it. Like, no one cares about you yip yapping in my chat. You don't get to run your mouth in my chat. You must be like confused or new or some shit here, but I don't let you guys run your mouth in my chat. Either you get up here and you get in the box and you say it with your chest, or you don't say shit at all. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to speak to someone in the chat while you and I were talking. It's just I don't like people going off in the comments. Anyway, that's the position that I'm taking. So it's not about, like, you know, me being racist or, you know, sexist or anything like that. It's literally about the issue with our country and the people who've had power in our country.
Yeah, so just trying to understand this a little bit more. You're saying that because 90% of all Congress in the United States have been white men, and even though the country has, or, you know, we're one of the most successful countries, most flourishing countries, people want to come to America. By what metric? People want to stay in America.
By what metric?
Well, I'll just tell you the metric. The reason why we have millions of people trying to come into the country is because America is better than their countries, right?
No. Most of the times it's because the United States of America destabilizes their countries. What's currently happening with Iran? What happened with the strikes to Iran?
So what I understand after watching, you know, Trump's speech on why he is why he's fighting with starting a war in Iran, or not, I mean, is because Iran poses a threat to America. He does claim that, you know, that they are trying to build nuclear missiles. I know that there isn't any, you know, outside evidence of that. However, if Trump's getting that information and he knows inevitably that, you know, war isn't technically good, if he says that there's a potential threat of nuclear weapons for a country that repeatedly says that they do not like America, then I would just like to take the, you know, the precautionary role of saying, hey, that's not good. Maybe we should do something about it. Wouldn't you agree that, you know, if there's a potential threat, then if a country that has repeatedly said, or like the people that run the country say that, okay, you know, death to America, right? Would you, and they are potentially having a power that could, you know, change the entire course of the world, wouldn't you say that it would be a good idea to at least, you know, do something about that?
If it was real, yeah, sure. You said that Donald Trump got that information, and, you know, he understands that there are potential threat. He would get that information from, like, intelligence, right? Because we got all these intelligence agencies. We have all this information that we can gather, and, like, we have spies and all this other stuff. So are you saying that, like, the reason why you think that Trump is saying this is because he has the intelligence that's telling him that it's a real thing?
Wait, because he has the intelligence? Well, I mean, you just said that he gets information from
right. I'm talking about the intelligence agencies. That's what I mean. The intelligent, when I say intelligence, intelligent agencies.
That he gets the information of those threats from those agencies. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
And what's your question to me?
No, the question is that why you're saying you trust what he's saying, because he has access to that information from intelligence agencies?
Yeah, one for one, and I do know. I mean, these people in power, like they're not, you know, the information that we see. Yeah, you would have to agree that they see different information, right? All the things that Donald Trump knows and the people in power know are they know more things than we do. They don't just tell us everything, right? Because I mean, obviously, I mean, for both sides, it's not even about.
I'm just trying to understand.
Republican,
I'm just trying to understand, like, why do you, like you said, that you trust Trump because he's saying that they have nuclear capabilities. The question is, why do you trust him? Are you trusting him based off of his access to knowledge, or is it something else?
What would that something else be? What do you mean?
I don't know. That's what I'm like. That's the question for you.
So I don't think you. I think you might be trying to mix up my wording a little bit. But what
That's
I did
why I'm
say
looking for clarification
about the whole situation, right? No, let me repeat what I said earlier. The reason why I think what he's doing is because he believes that Iran does pose a threat, and they are trying, or they if they are building, or they're trying to build, nuclear weapons. He believes that they are trying to build those weapons, and
right.
So
but you think that he believes that. That's what you're saying, right?
That is what I said. Well,
okay,
so
when you say he believes that, are you trusting him based off of information that he has, or are you trusting him based off of a gut feeling? Like, what makes you confident in believing in his feelings?
Believing his feelings, it's more of a precautionary action, what he's doing.
Okay, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut to the chase because I don't think you're getting it, and even more so, like I think you're missing the point. Donald Trump doesn't have any information that would actually warrant the stance that he's taken, and the reason why I say that is because Tulsi Gabbard, the head of the intelligence for the United States of America, has openly testified that no, Iran does not have and was not in the process of manufacturing nuclear weapons. And also the former head of counterterrorism within the United States, Joe Kent, actually resigned because he made the statement that there is no actual threat that's currently being posed by Iran and no need to actually engage in war. So the people that have access to the most highly classified information, the sensitive information that affect Americans, the things that we need to make sure that we have so we're safe, the secret stuff that you were just saying that, everyone doesn't have, literally the people that has that information has said Donald Trump is wrong. So the question I have is, you saying that this war is happening and you're okay with it because Trump has this foresight. It's literally something that the people with the actual information is saying that's not true.
Right. Yeah, I see your point, and I'll definitely have to look more into what they actually said on my end. And you get that information from news sources or articles, or
from them, directly from them. Tulsi Gabbard was brought in front of Congress, and she was made to give an open deposition. This happened what's today? Yeah, this happened in the end of last week. Tulsi Gabbard, as she was actually in DC testifying while I was in DC, and Joe Kent, excuse me, that's the reason why he resigned. He put a statement out, and he's been on multiple news stations, podcasts, any and everywhere that he could actually be. Hey, W's in chat for Chris. Thank you for the galaxy. Multiple places, and being very loud and proud about the fact of that's why he resigned. So much so that the Trump FBI has now opened up an investigation into Joe Kent and claiming that he leaked classified information, and so now they're investigating him. But both of these people are out on the record.
I'm trying to understand where you get the information about, and all this is just
it's
do this
from
research
them.
From.
No, I'm not.
I didn't from them.
No, I'm not doing any research. I'm literally just listening to what they say. It's literally coming from the horse's mouth.
Okay. Well, like I said, I'll have to look more into it now. But
you're not really
as I said, all I really mentioned was
you're not gonna really look into it. Just be honest.
No, Santana. I've actually been doing a lot of research on my end. I've been doing research on the things that Trump has been doing. I've been looking into his policies, exactly what is integrated. I've been looking into the allegations that he's faced from some women, and I've been looking at things, right? So I do my research, right? I don't have my Google Doc pulled up now because I'm in the car. I'm about to go to the gym. That's why I had to go. But what I'm saying is, in terms of this war that's going on right now, I think we can both agree that Donald Trump knows that war costs a lot of money. You get casualties. It's not exactly a good thing to do in and of itself. You agree that, right?
The last part for sure. I don't think that Donald Trump understands the cost of war in the sense of the actual monetary cost, because if he did, he wouldn't take it so lightly, right? The fact that within the first week we spent billions, and now even the DOD is coming back saying they need another $200 billion for war. I don't think he really cares about the cost of life. Because he casually said it right after they started bombing Iran, that there are going to be lives lost, and even more so to the tune that they've been underreporting the amount of soldiers that have been that have lost their lives in this conflict. I don't think Donald Trump really cares about the cost when it comes to the casualties, and I don't think he really comprehends the cost when it comes to monetary. That's why like he's freaking out and trying to get people to like help him attack the area to reopen the Strait of Hormuz because of the global impacts that it has to the economy. So like I would disagree. I will
You
give,
think
I'll at
he
least
just
give him
doesn't
at the
like
end.
care about the costs?
No, I don't.
Wow, it's a pretty rough take on that. Huh?
Why would you think that Donald Trump would care? Like let's start with like the actual economic costs, right?
Oh, by the way, I gotta go in like 1 minute, but yeah, finish.
Okay, I'll just say this, like Donald Trump is defrauding the American people and the American government and taking them for everything that they have. So as long as it doesn't personally affect his pockets, he doesn't care about the actual dollar amount.
You said he's defrauding the government and the people? You said that?
Yeah. He's
So
suing
how is he doing that?
He's suing the IRS, he sued the Justice Department, he sued his administration multiple times. And so with him suing his administration, it ends up being him working with his AG, Pam Bondi, and then they just negotiate depending on what the issue is. Donald Trump is suing the American people for billions of dollars. How to partner, and he's had multiple suits. Like it's a whole thing. Donald Trump has made more money this second time in office than he has in the entire rest of his life. Donald Trump has been selling crypto coin. He's been selling access to the presidency. He's been putting his friends and families in positions to actually collect additional money. Like he doesn't care about defrauding the American people. Donald Trump took all this money from all of these actual companies to quote unquote build a ballroom that went from 200 million to 300 million to 400 million. And like, he doesn't care about any of this stuff. He's literally just trying to make himself more wealthy.
Yeah, well, I'll take that into consideration when I do some research and I'll find more information on the topic. But right now I have to go. I'll come back on here at another time. But
okay.
Good talking to you. I'll be back.
Yeah, you're welcome back. Thank you.
All right.
Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates.
Hey, one more thing. I was on here like a seconds before were you being quite disrespectful to the person before me, talking about he should have been in a sock or something?
Yeah, I did. He came in and crashed in. He called me the N-word, and it's like, I'll come beat you up. And I'm like, we're on the internet. Why are you like threatening to beat me up? You know what's funny? I said, hey, because he had the issue with the same topic that you came up here about. And I was like, hey, do you think that we're in a good place in our country today? And like that led to him telling me like, I'm in New York and I'll come and spar with you in person and whatever N-word. And so, yeah, I told him his dad, and like, cause we started off, I was like, hi, is your name Mr. Hoyt? And he's like, oh, well, that's actually my dad's name. And I was like, okay, cool. Would you mind if I call you Hoyt? And so, after he decided to call me the N-word, I decided to actually drag him to hell and told him that his dad would have been disappointed and wish he would have left him in a crusty sock. So.
I didn't see the part where he really called you that. I don't really know what came first. I have no way of knowing that. But
yeah, it's always wild coming into like a conversation and hearing like the end of a conversation. But I'll just say this. You and I have been sitting up here talking for about 15, 20 minutes. Have I like disrespected you or did anything like that towards you?
No, we've had a pretty good conversation so far.
Yeah, it's because I match energy. I mean, you haven't disrespected me or like crashed in or crashed out. And so like, I have no issue with that. So I just match energy.
Word. All right. Well, I'll be back another day or whenever I can. I'll see you on here.
All right. Have a good one.
Yeah. Bye.
Yeah, guys, I mean that. Like, I have no issues with having conversations. But the thing about me is like, I can literally go there at any point. So like, there's no place that you guys can take it that I won't go. For anyone who thinks, especially someone who thinks that like, oh, just slurring is going to be enough to make me crash out. Like, I'm a black man from the South. I've been called the N-word more times than like you guys have taken breaths in your life. Fuck out of here. Debbie's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $5 super chat to say, are you doing a open mic again tonight? I wanted to request up, but I didn't have the time yesterday. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Laugh Out Leslie, I am. Thank you. Thank you for the 5. And yes, tonight, Late Nights with Santana this week, we have open mic night. We are opening up to the entire community for any conversation that you guys have. W's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $5 super chat to say, caller, is too early for it's too early for your white man crash out over your fifis. It was bad. Laugh Out Leslie actually became a member over on the YouTubes, and Fashid sent a $5 super chat to say, hey Santana, I think the reason Trump attacked Iran is the pressure from Israel in exchange for concealing his Epstein files. I agree with that. Debbie's in the chat for the super chats. We're going to go ahead and get someone else up here, but then we will make sure that we get to the other donos. So give me 2 more seconds, guys. I just want to make sure that we have someone up here to continue the debate. Hi, Jess. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something in the background?
I just have to say, excuse me 1 second.
Are you a Trump supporter or
As
disagree
a
with anything on the background?
woman, I agree.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you.
Nope, I
Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, do all the wonderful things, but please don't request up if you are not someone that's here to debate. We're trying to keep the
That's my bad.
going.
That's my bad. I just was in a different live, and they were. I was wondering if I could ask you to ask a question to MAGAs. No, but it goes based off.
Okay, guys, I appreciate you so much. I love you. Thank you. If you want to get a message across, like I read the chat all the time, you can drop, comments or questions in the chat. If it's really important, my mods, you can get it to my mods, and my mods will let me know. Or if you really, really want something answered or want to say something, you can send it to the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I'll read it out. I'll answer questions. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I disagree with the I was just gonna let you know and then let you do your thing. The removal of U.S. global presence.
Okay. And is it Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Aaron, can you give me 2 seconds and I promise you I'll make it quick. And W's in the chat for Kaylee. Kaylee sent a $5 donation saying, hell yeah, early morning Santana, kick some MAGA arse today. You absolutely know it. Thank you so much, Kaylee. Or Keely. Sorry. Thank you for saying that. W's in the chat for Angie for the $3 donation saying, I'm not sure if you remember, but I'm the I want to make sure yes, I remember that part, but I'm going to skip that part and I'm read the rest. I finally got to take the bar exam and I passed 2 months and I'll be sworn and fucking W's in the chat for Angie, guys. W's in the chat for Angie. Angie took the bar exam and passed. Let's fucking go. That is massive. That's massive. W's in the chat for Angie. That is awesome. Congratulations, Angie. We're super proud of you. W's in the chat for Angie. Keep it going. W's in the chat for Amanda for the $10 donation saying, I cannot fathom where you get your patience to deal with these absolute donuts. Love you all the amounts. I love you way more, Amanda. Thank you so much. And listen, if I can't have the conversation, then what's the point of us even being here? So, and W's in the chat for Ryan. Hey, Ryan. who sent a $22 donation, said, just sending some love and light your way. Ryan, thank you so much. I love and appreciate you so much, Ryan. And I'm glad that you're here. Guys, if anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Keep tapping the screen, share the live. Can we get the likes up to 100,000 likes? Also, make sure you hit that follow button. We're trying to get to 100,000 followers, so please, please, please hit that follow button. All right, Aaron, sorry, floor is yours. You disagree with removing U.S. presence. Why so?
I guess what aspect of the U.S. global presence are we talking about the most? I'm going to guess you're probably going with military.
Yes. Would you want me to tell you more so around what I'm saying, or would you like to move forward from there?
I mean, yeah, I'd like to hear what you got to say.
Yeah. Okay. So the point that I am standing on is the United States of America has anywhere from 750 to 800 military bases in every country across the world. And I think that us having that amount of military presence is something that's harmful. Not only harmful in the sense of easing global tensions, but it's something that stretches our military thin. It also lends itself to our country demanding more, whether it's more people to actually continue to fill those needs within those countries. So taking more of our children and putting them into the military. It's also taking away additional funds that could be allocated for things that would better benefit everyday Americans. And the point that I think we're at is that in order to create more global peace and reduce the amount of building tension within the world, if we pull back our military, still align our military with our actual allies as needed, and we can have a military presence in certain countries, but it should be a supportive role, not a role where we are the dominant force within the countries or areas.
And so then, obviously, since we're in the role of the dominance and the pure dominance, I guess which other countries would you expect to step up? Because ultimately, the way I'm looking at this is down the line, and we're already seeing this over in Ukraine, countries wanting to get land back. Same thing with China. I think China's obviously eyeing Taiwan and eyeing. I don't think they're ever going to do it, but Japan, and they obviously have messed with the Philippines. I guess I don't know what other countries can be able to dissuade them from that.
Yeah. So again, I don't have an issue with our country taking the actual position of like supporting our allies, or even if there's a case where there's countries stepping in and trying to assert themselves where they shouldn't be. Like, I don't have an issue with us being defensive. I just don't think that there's a need for us to be the offensive or dominant presence. Now, I find more benefit in us having, things like U.S. aid, which is, a soft power that gives us more reach. And that's something that should have been continued to be in place. But, the Trump administration cut funding to U.S. aid, and which has dictated more actual, like, hard power, I guess you would call it, but military force. So I think it would be better for us to focus on like not only our allyships, but the other ways that we can influence, countries or people or whatever without having to use the might of our military.
And I was just looking at some of the military breakdown, and you had said, bases in other countries. It's far more expensive for us to move our troops and our equipment from homeland than from a base from afar. And obviously that's strategic, and also for budgetary reasons. Obviously, it takes money to maintain those bases. I think I saw that the military budget allows for $330 billion for upkeep and equipment, and that's usually bases and whatnot, ships, planes. I guess I don't know how that really helps us if we draw back those bases.
Yeah, again, unless you're talking about
pure allocation.
Yeah, it's not about the actual point as far as like not having the capability to respond or not having support capabilities. We can do that without having a dominant military force in those areas. So as far as like being able to like use our allies' bases, whether it's like a joint agreement for storage or like training or a small unit for reactions. Like there's multiple ways that we could actually do this without having to have overwhelming presence in the area and things along those lines. So even when it comes to like mobilization, I get that. And again, I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, we need to only be in the US. And then if there's a global response, then it takes us like longer to be able to respond to it. But I think there's an understanding, or not understand. I think there's a like a misconception behind what it looks like to be able to respond to something versus what it looks like to be the aggressor. And with everything that we have as far as our presence globally, we're the aggressor.
I definitely will agree with that. I guess I'll point out that most of our aggression comes under Republican rule of power when they have control of the government. I don't know. I can't think of the last time that the military has gone on the offense during a democratically controlled White House.
Obama.
He started a new military venture.
When I say aggressions, I don't necessarily mean like just starting a quote unquote new war. But when you talk about like military actions that are carried out, like drone strikes, covert operations, like all this other stuff, I'm someone that votes on the left. I absolutely disagree with the Republican Party and everything that they're doing, especially in Iran. But to pretend as if the Democrats don't have blood on their hands as well, like that would be, really hypocritical of me. It's the military industrial complex that plagues the entire country. So it's not just a left or right thing; it's the entire country.
I mean, and Obama did do drone strikes, obviously, but that was, I think, in accordance with an ongoing Afghan war kind of thing. Having our presence there. I guess all I was saying was that it seems to me that the military aggression usually takes off its mask when the Republicans have the control of power. But then also with in regards to you saying that they're always, the military is always asking for a deeper or higher budget. I mean, almost every company in the United States does that too. They always use up the allocated money, and then they always ask for more. I mean, that's just that's the way things are.
I didn't say that, but I mean, we can talk about it. Yeah, I mean, like the United States military budget is currently $1 trillion, and Donald Trump is trying to increase that to 1.5 trillion. But when you take a look at like the allocations of the funds, like it's not necessary. I understand the need to actually increase budget where budget increases are needed. But when you have like Pete Hegseth spending $93 billion in the month of September just so he could actually meet his budget, that's a problem, right? And then you also take a look at the amount of like government contracts that are being handed out, like the actual wasteful spending in multiple ways. Like we could absolutely redefine the way that we spend that money and not just like add more to it. So like, yeah, if it was justified spending, I'm not going to knock it, but like the way that we're spending money right now is senseless.
I'll definitely agree with you on that. There's definitely wasteful spending, and that's usually in part with military specs for equipment that's produced. The military specs require things to be machined more precise and whatnot, and companies then see the military putting in an order for something, and then they jack up the cost, tenfold just to for whatever reason, just because they know
why that happens too, though, right? Like it's all the fact that like it's companies like Palantir, right, who are integrated with different administrations, with different people within the government, and they work hand in fist. And so while they may increase their prices, the people that are in power who have like handshake deals and they work with them, they're okay with those increasing pricings because they get like different kickbacks. Palantir donates to Donald Trump's ballroom, and Donald Trump and they rewards him with a $10 billion Pentagon contract. Like it's all intertwined.
Yeah, I mean, and with Palantir, you have his direct line from the CEO of that, or I think actually one of the main investors is Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel to Elon Musk to Donald Trump. Yeah.
No, there's a straighter line with Peter Thiel to JD Vance.
Very true. I mean, I almost think that a lot of the live debates on TikTok and other platforms are actually putting too much energy into Donald Trump and not really focusing on the people around him.
I agree.
I understand. I think that at this point, 2 years away from his end of his second term, I think the focus needs to be shift from Donald Trump, because he's just the vessel. He's just the person that they got lucky with.
Yeah.
That he came along and is able to fool people. But the fact is that there's a darker. I don't want to get like movie like, but like there is a darker force behind Donald Trump. Is just a puppet, a stooge almost.
Idiot. Yeah, I've said that over and over and over. Like, Donald Trump is absolutely a useful idiot, and he doesn't really care. I tell people this all the time. Like, Donald Trump doesn't really give a shit about anything as long as he's making money. But you do have like the technocrats who are benefiting from it. You do have like the extremists that are pushing like religious ideology with Mike Johnson and Pete Hegseth. You have people like Stephen Miller, who's a fucking Nazi and who's like pushing white supremacy. You have people who are only trying to benefit themselves, like Caroline Levitt. And like, so this entire administration is made up of people that only care about themselves and what the individual things that they can advance. And Donald Trump is no different. It's just that everyone else is counting on Donald Trump in order to actually get their agendas met. So, but anyway,
I guess
it sounds like you and I are kind of at a impasse. So I think I'm going to go ahead and swap you out and see if I can get someone else up for a debate.
All right. You have a great day.
All right. Thank you. Guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We are only looking for some debates. Only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart. Me, it's only one coin. Also, keep knocking out the daily gift goal. Hi, user. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? User, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Okay, I'm going to drop you down. Hi, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
Oh, shit.
Lucid, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background?
No.
Okay, no worries. I'll drop you down. Good morning, Gabby. How are you? I don't know if this person's going to load. W's in the chat for Brett. Brett sent $1 donation saying, you on my time slot. LOL, JK. Love you, brother. I love you too, Brett. I didn't know. You know, we'd be up early in the morning. W's in the chat for Brett. W's in the chat for Mocha67 for the $12 donation saying, keep letting them know. You know how we do, twin. Absolutely. W's in the chat for the donos, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Again, guys, only request up if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Only request up if you're a Trump supporter, disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. Let's see here. Trying to figure out who this person is. So confused. Oh, okay. This is the same person.
Thank God, Santana.
W's in the chat for Ruger 420, who sent a 5 Steam stream over on Twitch, and Lotus, who also sent a 3 Steam streak over on Twitch. W's in the chat for them. Chase, I'm confused. Did you come up because you had like some substance, or what are we doing?
I disagree with every topic you ever stand for.
Yes, I know you disagree, but like I don't necessarily care about you disagreeing. I care about substance. Do you have substance?
What do you mean?
Do you have something intelligent to add to the conversation?
Yes, I always have something intelligent.
Okay.
Do you think we're going to win this war in Israel?
We're not in a war in Israel. See, you're already starting off wrong.
Well, we have to. Well, they're our allies.
Crow, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
No, sorry. I was double tapping and hit request by accident.
Damn, Crow, I thought you were going to save me. All right, Chase. Say something smart.
Okay. So I support Trump because he's going to change.
No. Say something smart about something that's on the background.
Remove white men from power. That is just absolutely crazy. I didn't even see that one.
Okay, Chase. Why is that crazy?
Because white men built this country. White men settled the 13 colonies, came here from the Mayflower and all that. White men built this country.
White men.
It wasn't supposed.
Yeah.
It wasn't supposed to be a melting pot.
Have we already done
Santana.
this?
Yes, we have already done this. And
pick something else, Chase, please. You don't have anything on this one. You're not good at that topic. And also, I've already talked to you about it. And so at this point, I refuse to waste my time, energy, effort, or breath trying to explain this one to you again. No, thank you. Say something smart about something else.
Okay, cut our military budget.
Okay.
Okay, I don't think we should cut our military budget is because, when we asked, didn't we just ask?
Hold on for a second, Chase. The conservative, whatever, slap nuts, get up here. I'm muting you. You come into my live every day. You, for some reason, are always in my DMs, but you refuse to come up here and debate me. Get up here. Listen, I will let Chase stay up here with you. You clowns can go 2-on-1 with the great one. Don't be a coward. Stop ducking this fade. Get up here and get this smoke. I sent you a request. That's what I'm talking about. That's Chase. You got to take a back seat.
Who's always in whose DM?
You're always in my DM. About that, I literally can post it on the screen. Anyway, go ahead. Which point do you disagree with where you would like to start? And Chase, you have the. Okay, that's fine. Chase, you're playing second fiddle on this one. You got to just hold tight and.
Okay, I'll play defense. I'll play defense.
Sure. Conservative, pick a point where you would like to start.
I disagree with all of them, man. So you pick.
I provided the point so you guys can have something to pick from. All you got to do is pick one and say, this is what you want to talk about.
Well, I would just say that removing all white people from power would be racist. So
it doesn't say all white people.
Remove white people from power. It's racist.
It doesn't say white people from power.
It's racist.
It doesn't say white people.
It says white. Okay, so we're gonna play the semantics game.
No. I'm not being semantical. I'm being intentional.
Does it say remove white? Does it say remove white?
What's the word after white?
Santana don't think black people can be racist.
Chase, this is not your turn to speak yet.
Himself, so.
Lock in, conservative. What's the word after white?
You keep saying that, like you keep trying to direct me back to something like that.
I want to have a linear dialogue. White men, perfect. White men. Okay. How is me saying remove white men from power racist?
Well, because is all white men bad?
Did I say anything about being bad?
Well, why do you want to remove them from power?
Sure. The reason why I want to remove white men from power is because of where we currently are in our society as a whole, where we are currently with this war, the conflict that we're engaged in. You can talk about the fact that over the 250-year history of our country, 90% of all Congress has been held by white men, whether it's, House, Senate, or presidency. And then you could talk about where we are today with this current conflict. It was started by a Jewish white man. It was actually perpetuated by an orange white man. It's supported by a drunk white man. The actual danger, hurt, and harm that we are constantly put in our society and our country has been perpetuated by white men. And so I think that removing power from white men would allow us to not only end this war, but put us in a safer place here in the U.S. and even on the global stage.
So is all of Congress and all of that all white? sorry, excuse me. I just need to clear my throat. Is it predominantly white? Is it all white? Is there not any minorities in Congress right now whatsoever?
Yeah, there's a 78% split, I'm sorry, there's a different split. I can look it up, but again, I'm not talking about all white people. You keep saying that. Please make sure you're being specific, because I'm not talking about white women. I'm only talking about white men.
The majority of this country is white people. So how would you plan on removing all white people from
Why
power?
do you keep saying all white people? You keep saying that for some weird reason.
I didn't say people. I said men. I said, how would you?
No, you said all white people. You literally just said all white people.
So you just want to remove all white men. You're fine with white women.
Yes, that's why it says that right there. That's why I have it up here. It says remove white men. That's why I kept saying, what does it say after white? Like, I'm literally making sure you understand that we're only talking about white men.
So let me get this straight. You're a guy that's a misandrist and a racist at the same time.
Okay. Misandry is not a real thing, and you don't know what racism or racist is. So sure. But like, even by your premise, the entire point is like preconceived notions. And I literally just gave you factual basis for my statements. So if I have factual statements for my basis, and the actual point is rooted in logic, then it can't be rooted in quote unquote misandry or racism, because I'm actually giving you a reason why I'm saying this.
I've heard your debates, man. I've listened a lot. You're definitely against men. You're definitely pro women.
Not against men. Yeah, I'm definitely
You're definitely against white people.
You're against
not
white
against
men.
white people. You know what it is? I'm against fragile white men for sure. Like, you guys make me sick. You guys are such crash outs. You guys are whiny babies. You literally fragile white men. You guys think that people are like taking something from you. You guys are whiny babies. Everything. Oh, everybody hates white men. We're under attack. Oh, like, fuck out of here.
You love hearing yourself talk, man. It's ridiculous.
Not only me, there's 1,000 people here that love hearing me talk as well.
Why do you use that soft voice, man? That soft fake voice whenever you say thanks to your viewers? Why not just use your regular? Why be so disingenuous and fake, bro?
Oh, wait, you mean why does my voice have compassion? Wait, are you gonna let me answer? You mean why does my voice have compassion and love and reverence when I'm speaking to the people that literally allow me to do the things? Are you gonna let me finish my sentence?
No,
why are you, hold on, you said you gave me a question, but then you won't allow me to finish the question. Like, stop it.
Because it's exactly like Dean and Parker, bro.
Yeah,
you guys
I know you have this fascination. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my sentence. That's fine. The reason why I speak with reverence and passion and like love when I thank the people that donate to me, when I thank the people that are watching, when I see someone or someone sends me a message, is because literally without the people that are watching right now, I would not be able to do this. The platform that I have right now is only because of the people that come here every day and they tap the screen, they share the live, they send gifts, they send donations, they watch my videos, they DM me. Like, that's the only reason that I can do any of this. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have this platform. And so, yes, every single time, no matter what it is, I'm going to speak with them with love, compassion, and kindness. Just like when MAGA Cries sends this $2 donation, I'm going to say, W's in the chat for MAGA Cries for the $2 donation, saying, Chase, why did you send me a disgusting transphobic message and block me? Chase, did you send a fucking disgusting transphobic message and then block someone?
No. Why are they lying on my name?
What's transphobic mean?
Stop for a second, conservative. Chase, are you telling the truth?
Yes, I'm telling the truth.
That's fine. MAGA Cries, DM me.
DM me.
Yeah. Shut up, Chase. I'm not playing right now. You need to be quiet, because at this point you don't get to speak anymore until we get an actual. If you can't stay on mute, then I'm just gonna go ahead and drop you. Like, you need to either stay on mute and yeah. W's in the chat for MAGA Cries. W's in the chat as well for Jesse for the $5 donation, saying whenever a Trump supporter says they have to do their research after you bring factual facts to the convo, I call BS. If any rational person spent 10 minutes researching Trump corruption, they wouldn't be a Trump supporter. I completely agree with that.
Can
also,
I be
W's
honest
in the chat for W's in the chat for Sin for the $5 super chat to say, love hearing yourself talk. Yeah, it's Santana's live. It is. W's in the chat for Sin. Thank you so much for that $5 super chat, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're over on YouTube, you can send a super chat. I will read that out. Chase, you are about to be honest.
Yes. Okay. So if I did, which I don't know if I did, but I can tell you if they did is because I get on your live and they send me messages every fucking day. That's why. I don't go out of my way to text them first. They text me first.
Chase, what does like someone trolling a troll have to do with you being transphobic?
I just don't like trans people. I mean, where you don't like white people, I don't like trans people.
What is transphobic?
Okay. Stop for a second, conservative. This isn't talking to you. Chase, like you can sit here and say that I don't like white people. That's fine. I don't care about your opinion. I don't like bigots. I don't like racists. I don't like people who deal in like harmful, hateful actions, misogyny. I don't like people who are openly transphobic. And Chase, I don't like you, and you're no longer allowed here. So it's okay.
Oh, nigger.
Yeah. And see, that's what, right? Like, that's what people like that who literally show who they are. And Chase has 1 million accounts, right? And the funny thing about that is, like, he comes in here on his millions of accounts because he wants the attention. And like he literally said, thank you for not blocking me, and other people have blocked me. And that's what he decides to do. So I'm sure he'll be back, and I'm sure he's listening on one of his other accounts. And Chase, I'm going to block you every single time that I see you. And you know that I'm a mod, and all the other spaces that you try to get on their panels, I will be blocking you there as well. Anyway,
yeah.
We were talking about removing white men from power.
Yeah, I don't get down like that. I'm actually not MAGA. I did vote for Trump though, man. Like, but you know, there's a difference between a base conservative rather than MAGA, and it gets tossed around a lot, man. You know, and it shouldn't. Like I said, I can tell you why I voted for Trump, but then all the other shit gets piled on there, man. Which I don't think that's cool. I'm pro-life, man. I mean, I don't vote on a single issue, but that's the main issue that I voted for Trump for. I can't support anybody that's pro-abortion.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
quick question for you. When you say pro-abortion, what do you mean by that?
Anybody that's in favor of that in any form or fashion, it is schmurdering. It is 100% evil, man. I mean, it just is.
So when you say pro-abortion, I guess this is one thing that I feel like a lot of people who are on the right have a little bit of a misconception, because no one's walking around and advocating for people to get abortions, right? But what we do advocate for is people to have access to healthcare and rights to bodily autonomy. And so, like, you don't personally have to agree with abortions, but if you can agree that people should be able to make the decisions necessary between themselves and their healthcare professional, and they should be allowed to make those decisions, then you're pro-choice, right? You're not forcing anyone to have abortions. You're not saying that I believe in abortions. Your point is just that you're saying that I believe people should be able to make like informed medical decisions with their doctors.
You keep calling it healthcare. I don't consider abortion to be healthcare. I don't.
Do you know what a DNC is?
Sure.
Like it's literally a healthcare procedure. Like the reason why I call it healthcare is because in cases where women don't have access to it, they will literally die.
So do you think gender assignment surgery is healthcare?
I'm not as sure why you're trying to change this to transgender people, but we're having a conversation right now about no, I don't want to pivot to transgender people because no one was talking about gender reassignment surgery or anything like that. I'm specifically talking about why I'm specifically talking about why I keep saying that abortion is healthcare. I didn't bring up transgender people. I didn't bring up gender reassignment surgery. We're not talking about that. We're talking about healthcare. And like, would you like to address the point that I just made when it came to women?
Well, you started by saying that nobody's out here advocating for pro-abortion, for women to just be able to abort babies whenever they want to.
No, I said no one's advocating for people just to go get abortions.
Sure they are, man. I've read countless statements and seen countless videos of people supporting just that, man. Like that's exactly what they want to use it as a form of birth control.
Can you give me one person, and not even like give me one person that has actual power within our like our government, whether it be a state level politician or higher, or federal politician that's openly saying like everyone needs to go out and get abortions.
I mean, there's plenty of people. It's a spectrum across that.
Sure. If it's plenty, just give me one.
I mean, you've got people that are far right, far left. There's plenty of that.
I hear you. If there's plenty, just give me one.
I could go find you somebody. I mean, are you denying that it exists?
Yeah, I'm saying that there's no one that has any type of actual political power that's out here saying that people need to go get abortions. Yes, that I'm absolutely denying that exists.
Right. Well, there's nobody with political power that's saying that they're going to ban all abortions either. It's a conversation.
Yes, there literally is. There's literally multiple people with power who are advocating, including like Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, has talked about the need for like a nationwide abortion ban. And you know, because the question has come up has been like, would he support it if it ever hit the floor? Right. Donald Trump has had the conversation about whether he would sign it if it came across his desk. And these people have spoken to the willingness to support that. They haven't openly advocated, but they've been in favor of it. But the point that I'm getting across is, where can you point me in any direction with any Democrat or someone on the left who has actual political power, who is saying that everyone should be going out and getting abortions?
Man, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't point to someone directly. I'll concede that, but I know they exist because I've literally heard it in videos. I mean, there's I can't pronounce her name very well, but I've heard her say it a few times. I mean, we all know where.
Who is her?
We know the PAYAPL. I screw up her name every time. I've heard her mention it. Omar, she's mentioned it.
Elmar, you know, Elhan, Omar. Oh, okay. Hold on one second. Sorry. Brett. Hey, Brett, come back really quick. I just saw your message. I apologize. Brett, come back really quick. Oh, there he is. Brett, I just saw your message. Give me a second, conservatives. Go ahead, Brett.
Oh, I had a few things to comment on. That's it, really.
Okay.
Yeah, he said that you were racist, but by their logic, I'm here, so you have a white friend, so you can't be racist.
That is
just saying.
That's
true.
And I have white friends.
But it's racist when white people use that and say, "I've got a black friend."
We're making fun of you. That's what's happening. They're just making fun of that because y'all say that all the time, and I just prove by y'all's logic that Santana is not, in fact. But anyways,
I say that though.
I say y'all. You heard what I said. But anyways, I did have another point. He said he was pro-life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's crazy because do we know what the #1 unaliver of pregnant women is? Conservative, this is a question for you.
Man, you started this conversation by being disingenuous by making a point.
No, I'm very genuous.
I didn't state, bro. I didn't say anything. I didn't say I've got a black friend.
That's not an answer to my question. I'm going to ask it again.
Hey, conservative, don't be sensitive. Just engage. Like just hey, conservative. Yeah, that's fine. But Brett's up here.
This is what I'm talking about.
Holy smoke! Have I muted you at all? Have I muted you at all? Like, stop it! You're being fragile. You're literally being fragile. Brett wanted to say something, and so I wanted to give Brett the floor. Oh my God, you're crying. Like, just stop. You're literally crying. if you're scared of Brett, just say you're scared of Brett, and Brett doesn't have to speak. But like, if that's what it is, just say it.
Brett showed his ignorance by coming up here and saying what he just said, bro. I don't want to debate Brett. Did I join Brett's live?
Conservative, do you know what it is to be facetious?
Who is Brett?
Brett Cross. Yeah, Brett Cross is absolutely amazing. That's fine. Do you know what it means to be facetious?
Sure, man. We want to play the IQ game. You want to?
No, I don't. I'm saying, do you know what it means to be facetious?
Do you know what mixolydian means?
Holy smokes. I just need to know whether you know what it means before I tell you that's what he was being. Like, holy shit, this is not an IQ test.
And I need to know if you know what mixolydian means so I can respond to it.
No, I have no clue what mixolydian means. No, I don't know that word. Now, do you know what facetious means? I answered your question, but you can't answer mine?
Yes, I know what facetious means. And I asked your question.
Okay. So then Brett was being facetious. So if he's being facetious, then why are you upset?
Because I can't answer the question, man, because y'all don't know what mixolydian means.
This is that's the softest crash out I've ever heard.
The actual, like, the fact that you are literally a whiny crybaby, like, holy fuck.
Terminology, Santana.
I can't answer you, bro.
You're literally a whiny crybaby. That's fine. Spell it. Spell mixolydian? Spell it.
MIXOLYDIAN.
INDEPENDENT. Do you know what that means?
So mixolydian. And that's MIXOLYDIAN. That's what you said, right?
Yeah, look that up.
Okay.
You should have already known, man. It's simple. It's grade school stuff, man. If you don't understand what that means,
that's fine. I mean, like, for some reason you sit here and say, "Oh, I can't have." So mixolydian, it's a mixolydian model is a musical scale or mode characterized as a major scale with a lower flattened 7th degree B flat, resulting in a W pattern. What does this have to do with anything?
That's the musical definition. Yeah, man.
Okay, so what does this have to do with anything at all?
It has to do with everything, man. It has to do with
explain what it has to do with this.
We were comparing IQs.
We were not. See, this is what just happened. So no. Now I'm gonna mute you. Because what happened was, I said, "Do you know what facetious means?" Because I was trying to get the point across that Brett wasn't being disingenuous, he was being facetious. Stop it. You lost this one. You literally said you want to take an IQ test. And I said, this is not about an IQ test. I just wanted to know if you knew what the word meant so I could get the point across as far as what Brett was doing. And you made a decision to actually bring up something that has nothing to do with the conversation. I didn't say, hey, do you know what an onomatopoeia is? Like, I didn't bring something up that had nothing to do with the conversation. The reason why I said, do you know what the word facetious means is because I wanted to say Brett was being facetious. He wasn't being disingenuous, but I didn't want to use the word if you weren't familiar with the word. But you made a choice to say, I'm going to bring up some random fucking word that has nothing to do with anything and derail the conversation and say, I can't answer your question because you don't know what this means. And it has nothing to do with politics or the current conversation. You just wanted to be a fucking snowflake. And that's where we are. You literally just made a decision to be a snowflake, and I looked it up just because I'm not disingenuous. I wanted to know what the fuck you were talking about, and plus I wanted to continue to have the conversation, only to find out that you were literally being a fucking snowflake. How sad is that?
To be fair, Santana, I was speaking in a mixolydian tone as well.
Holy shit.
We're speaking in a mixolydian tone, man. Like, why waste time and ask people? You do that every time to try to break their train of thought. You say, do you know what this means? Do you know what that means? And then you try to say that it's because you care to make sure that they know what the word means, bro. Like that's so disingenuous to try to decide.
Okay, so then tell me what facetious means.
Have the debate and make your.
So tell me what facetious means.
And just continue
So
forward.
tell me what facetious means. Because you don't fucking know. You're such a weak, insignificant little snowflake that instead of actually admitting that you don't know something, you literally would sit there and rather gaslight. You sat there and said, "Hey, do you know what Mixolydian means?" And I said, "No, I have no idea what that means." And I even looked it up. You know, it's not that hard to say like, "Oh, I don't know what something means," but you're such a fucking sensitive snowflake that you can't even say that I don't know what something is. This is why I'm sitting here saying remove white men from power, because fragile snowflake white men like you are the reason why this world is fucked. You have an inability to at least say like, "Hey, I don't know something." Like, why is it so hard just to say I don't know something? Like, what in the world, you fucking soy boy? And he's reporting. This is how much of a snowflake he is. He's literally reporting, guys. That's what he's doing right now. We know what you're doing, and you immediately go to reporting. You're a snowflake. That's what you were doing. I'm not stupid. That's what you soy boy betas do. Every time you soy boy betas get your feelings hurt, you go reporting.
Aren't they the ones that said bring comedy back?
Yeah. I thought it was like fuck your feelings. But the first thing they do is go report because they're so sensitive. You're such a sensitive snowflake.
You did all of that not to answer the question.
I know what you did. I know what you did. I know. I called you out on it. I called you out on. Look, I pulled your card, and then you immediately knew that you fucked up.
No, you're soft and fragile.
You know what? You can report all you want. I'm not going anywhere. I'm saying that's literally what you went to go do. You're such a snowflake.
You mute people to try to drive your point home, but it doesn't work.
I muted you because you have the inability to actually engage because you are a fucking snowflake.
Because you assumed I didn't know what a word meant because I refused to answer.
I didn't assume anything. I said, "Do you know?" That's not assuming. Tell me how that's assuming.
Sure, I know. Why do I need to give you a definition? Why do we need to?
No. You did not. I said, "Do you know what facetious means?" And you refused to answer that question.
It's disingenuous to ask me what that means, bro.
No, it's not.
Disingenuous. Why not just make the comment? Yes, it is, man. Because if I didn't know what it means,
is that a word that is normally used in people's lexicon?
I mean, I hear it a lot. I don't know about the people you hang around with, man. But I mean,
so if obviously it's not a word that people use in their everyday vernacular, then why would I assume that people would just know it? Again, me being disingenuous would be saying that saying facetious and then not giving you any type of context or trying to explain what that means. Like, instead of me doing that, I checked with you to ensure that we could have an actual conversation in order so we could move forward. But you felt so threatened that you started this snowflake ass crash out. Like, that's wild.
I want to prove a point, Santana, because if you're constantly asking people,
you're the one that derailed this entire conversation. You talked about derailing the debate. All you had to do was say, "I don't know," or say, "Yes, I know, and I understand that Brett was being facetious."
You mute and you talk over people.
And now you're crying again.
You don't like to be talked.
And now you're crying.
And then when somebody brings it up, you call it crying.
And now you're crying again. Oh my God, you're such a baby. You're such a baby.
Your echo chamber fuels it for you, man. Like you really need to get off TikTok, bro. You really do.
Oh, would you please stop whining and crying? No one cares about your fifis. Oh, you're such a victim.
Why wouldn't you just assume the person knows what you mean? And if they didn't, man, they would say so, or they would make a comment.
Gubby's in the chat for Lavender for the $2 donation saying, "Conservative told me that women aren't dying from lack of abortions." Yeah, he's stupid. He doesn't know things. That doesn't surprise me. Gubby's in the chat for the lady for the $3 super chat to say, "Caller's not pro-birth. Pro-birth, he's not pro-life. He's pro-birth, not pro-life. He is." W's in the chat for Laugh Out Leslie for the $5 super chat to say, "All these white men freaking out over not wanting white men in power is just furthering Santana's point." Yeah, Like, they can't handle it. It's wild. It's fucking wild. W's in chat for the donos, guys. If anyone else like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links and links are in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat, and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen. Let's go ahead and get the likes up to 200,000 likes. And if you are a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, get in the box. We got Brett up here, guys. Make sure you're showing Brett some love. Please, please, please show Brett some love. Do all the wonderful things. Conservative, would you like to actually answer Brett's question now that you've had a whole temper tantrum meltdown?
I would like to answer uninterrupted.
As long as you answer Brett's question, that's fine. I don't care.
Okay, so why don't you ask the question?
No, that's Brett's question. Brett, you got it.
Okay, well, why don't let Brett ask the question again? I'll 2v1 you losers.
Trying to 2v1. But anyways, do you know what the number one killer of pregnant women is?
Let me guess, white dudes.
Incorrect. So you're wrong. You know what the number one killer of children is?
What's the number one killer of children, man?
So you don't know? Just say you don't know.
We're playing the IQ test, man.
Not an IQ test. I'm asking simple questions.
Come on, man. Why don't you just make your point?
Do you know it or not? Not.
Why ask questions? Why don't you just make your point?
So when you ask a question, I ask the question. You either say yes or no. Hey, yes or no?
That's not how a debate works, sir.
This isn't a debate. This is a conversation on TikTok.
Oh, is this not a debate?
What is your P1 then?
This isn't a debate. Wait.
Then what is your P1? What was your opening segment? What are your closing discussions? Come on now.
Is there not a prompt up here? This isn't a debate?
This is a conversation, buddy. I'm having a conversation with you. Yes or no? Do you know?
I joined up to have a debate against Santana. I don't
answer.
Yeah, just, land your plane, bro. Make your point.
Do you know the answer?
Land your plane. Make your point.
Buddy, here's the thing.
Asking questions is disingenuous like that, man. Come on.
Asking questions? How is it disingenuous? Either you know it or you don't.
What's your point?
Being disingenuous would mean not answering it and doing this roundabout bullshit that you're doing, bud. It's a simple question. Yes or no? Do you know the answer?
I would say it's probably subjective.
Subjective? That's wild. No, it's not. So firearm violence actually is the number one killer of children. It's also the number one killer of pregnant women. Now, when you say that you voted for Donald Trump,
what's your source on those? What's your source on those statistics right there?
The CDC.
Yeah, can you show me that?
You want me? Yes.
Is there competing data against those as well?
No, because it is. How do you compete against facts? So, furthermore, what I'm saying is that you said that you voted for Donald Trump because you were pro-life, but you're not pro-life or pro-forced birth. You actually don't care if people are living or dying. You care about thinking that you are better than somebody and controlling what they do with their body and their bodily autonomy, which is another reason that goes to show why white men shouldn't be in power.
Okay, do either one of you guys know what a pantheist is? Just to kind of give you a worldview a little bit.
A what?
Do either one of you guys know what pantheism is? What a pantheist is? I'm trying to give you my worldview. You're saying that I'm not pro-life. I'm more pro-life than both of you gentlemen, I guarantee you.
Pantheism is a psychological and religious belief that God is identical with the God is identical with the universe, nature, and exists and all that exists. Derived from the Greek pan, all, and theos, God, is the point that reality is divine, interconnected, whole, lacking a distant personal creator separate from the world. That's pantheism.
Yeah, right. If I was to sum it up, man, we're all God. Every sentient being on this earth is God, and in this universe is God. I support all life, not just lives of innocent babies. I support all life. That is my worldview belief system. I'm not a Christian. I'm a conservative pantheist.
So why did you vote against it?
Why did I vote against what?
Lives.
How did I vote against lives?
Don't know how we already have to.
Yeah, I'll say this. I mean, Brett makes an excellent point, because like if that is your worldview, and I'm not saying that it's not, but like you're taking the position on the sense of like abortion. But when you talk about the parties within our country who cause more death, right? I mean, like the abortion rate has skyrocketed since the overturning of Roe, right? So since the actual Supreme Court justices overturned the access to abortion, like the abortion rates went up. But then also you talk about the children and people that are dying with the lack of healthcare, food, and environmental issues that are all perpetuated by the Republican Party, whether it's withholding funds for food, whether it's deregulating that allows more pollution that's causing issues, whether it's the fact that they refuse to pass any type of gun reform, and children and people continue to die at the hands of like mass shootings. All of these things are being perpetuated by the Republican Party. So if that is your true your worldview, then looking at one sector and saying like abortion is the reason why we would support this, when like completely negating all the other factors that are negatively impacted and cause lives by the Republican Party, would absolutely go against your entire worldview.
Yeah, I don't support the Republican Party or the Democratic Party. I don't support either one.
You said you voted for
I'm
Trump.
not a Republican. Sure, I sure do.
So again, your vote goes against your worldview.
I didn't vote for him because he got the nominee for the Republican Party, though, man.
Yeah, you voted for him based off of your worldview. That's what you said.
Yeah, off of my worldview.
But everything about like not only Trump but the Republican Party goes against your worldview.
Has Trump always been a Republican?
Again, everything that about Trump and the Republican Party goes against your worldview.
You haven't given me one example of that.
Sure. The fact that the last time
pair it to Trump, though, not the Republican Party. Pair it to Trump.
You want me to specifically I need to understand which one you want. I can do either one. Do you want me to tell you Trump or the Republican Party?
Because I would have voted for Trump had he ran as a Democrat.
Okay.
So I just want to put that out there.
Okay. Donald Trump passed legislation that actually remove access to health care and access to food to everyday Americans, right? Reducing SNAP benefits. No. You're confused.
It's junk food.
Wait. You're confused. Hold on. Let me finish. You're confused.
Have you ever gotten EBT before? Have you
yes,
ever
I've had.
Before?
Yes, I've had SNAP benefits. Yes. Can I finish my sentence? Sure, go ahead.
There
were no provisions that were placed in the BBB that said like the total amount of funding for food is going to stay the same, but there's restrictions placed on the food that can be purchased. No. They cut the actual food as a whole. And then as well, they cut the amount of access that people have to healthcare. They cut the access that, hell, Donald Trump himself, even if you say, like, literally, if you say your worldview is that you value all life, right? And you value life and you want to protect life, you voted for a man and his family who defrauded a charity for cancer kids. Like literally the reason why they can't operate a charity in New York anymore is because they defrauded kids with cancer and took money from cancer research for kids. And one of the first things that Donald Trump did when he got in office with Doge is they cut funding to cancer patients. Like they cut funding for cancer research. Like literally Donald Trump goes against your worldview because he's killing more people.
Why do you place all of that blame on Trump? Why do you ignore everything that led up to that too is another question I would say.
I sat there and said, do you want me to talk about Donald Trump or do you want me to talk about the Republican Party? And you said Donald Trump. So that's why I'm speaking on Donald Trump. I'm not ignoring anything. I'm speaking specifically to what you just told me.
Right. And you made a good point. I mean, he was convicted of tax fraud, but I mean, we can dive into that case. But how does that solely fall upon him? Do you know the details of that case? Was it just him?
I do know the details of the case. I do know that it was the Trump Foundation, which is more than just Donald Trump. but you told me to speak to Donald Trump. That's why I've been speaking directly and calling him out directly for his part that he's connected. Now, again, wait 1 second. If you want me to speak in a broader term and speak about more than Donald Trump, I can do that. But I said, do you want me to talk about Donald Trump or the Republican Party? You said, talk about Donald Trump. That's why I've been speaking directly about Donald Trump.
Right, because again, pantheists go hand in hand with duality. Okay, it's kind of hard to explain to somebody who's an outsider. But good and bad has to exist. Both have to exist.
Then what's the justification of actually conserving any life? If the point is that good and bad exists, I can accept that, right? That's logical. But then if you accept the premise that good and bad exists, then why is it that you hold the preservation of life above all else when understanding that bad is necessary? And so if bad is necessary, then that means a loss of life is necessary. So why would you uphold life more than anything if that would restrict bad from existing, which is something that you actually believe in, duality?
Because to obtain and uphold the balance, you have to, man. Otherwise the machine doesn't work. The bad is slowly overtaking the good. Can you not see that?
That doesn't make sense, what you just said.
How does it not make sense?
Because you didn't answer my question. Again, I'm not saying like how the mechanism works. I'm not saying that the actual balance or imbalance or anything like that. I'm saying that if your premise is that good and bad must exist and you believe in duality, then why would you believe in upholding the preservation of life when there is a necessity for bad to exist, meaning there is a necessity for a loss of life? Why would you strive and fight to uphold something that goes against the necessity of balance that you believe in?
Because bad has been increasing significantly for the past, I don't know, 500 years, man. I mean, 1,000 years. I mean, how far back do you want to go?
Why does it matter if bad increases if bad is necessary?
Because of the balance, man. The balance has to remain for society to remain. I don't think
what has dictated the balance? Like, so now you're adding in the fact that it's a balance. So now it's shifted from like, now it's shifted from it being necessary to that there's a balance that has to align between good and bad. So what determines the balance between good and bad?
Well, give me an example of something where that duality doesn't exist.
No. That's not the question. I'm already telling you I accept duality. Like there's no need to litigate whether duality is necessary. I'm saying, okay, that's fine. But what I am saying is now you're changing it and no longer saying that duality is necessary. You're now saying that balance is necessary. So not only is there a need for duality, but it has to be.
What is duality then? Duality is balance.
No, it's not.
Like that's what, yes,
it's the existence of both things. It's the ability to actually have left and right. It's not necessarily that duality is not based off of being balanced.
You know what Taoism is?
No, what's Taoism?
You don't know what Taoism is?
I just said no. I just said no. If I said no, then tell me. I said no. What's Taoism? Like that's what happens when you don't know something. You say no. What is it?
It goes hand in hand with pantheism. It's a religious belief based on duality. You ever seen the yin yang symbol?
Taoism is an object such as an engraved stone, ring, or amulet believed to possess magical powers that protect the wearer from evil, brings good luck, or wait, spell it again for me. I might have actually spelled the wrong thing. Sorry, Taoism.
No, Taoism. Taoism.
Taoism. Got it. Okay. An ancient Chinese philosophy and religious emphasis on harmony with the Tao, the nature, understanding the flow of the universe. It promotes a simplicity, balance through yin and yang, founding the text and flows. So yeah, like, I mean, it's basically based off of, it says advocating humility and religious pity. I don't know what that is. So, I mean, are you trying to say that there needs to be harmonization?
Yeah, that would create that's balance, man.
Okay. So even with the actual balance that you're trying to speak to, it speaks to ebbs and flows. So I was just about to text you. Are you in the request? I was literally just about to text you. For him. All right, I appreciate you, Brett.
Can I say one last thing real quick though?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay, when he asked what it's Taoism, by the way, when he asked what that is, I thought that completely contradicts what he said earlier with there's no questions in debates. So he's just talking out his ass. Much love.
I appreciate you. Also, W's in the chat for Tony for the $1 donation saying America stands with, it started with issues in Iran in the 50s. I agree. W's in the chat for Kevin for the $50 donation saying he's on some cabin in the woods type ish. And W's in the chat for Rust Belt for the $5 super chat to say the caller's right. The number one cause of unaliving kids is gun violence, but as a conservative, he advocates for more guns. He doesn't care about kids. That's absolutely true. W's in chat for all the donos, guys. If anyone else would like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. Pay links in the link tree in the bio. Santana speaks for you. If you're on YouTube, you can send a super chat and I will read that out. Guys, keep tapping the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. And guys, we got Jeff up here. Go ahead and show Jeff some love. Please, 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 guys, show Jeff some love. I'm going to go ahead, conservative. So like I have an okay conversation. I mean, an okay understanding. But Jeff here has a master level conversation. So I'm going to tag Jeff in so he can help me understand this, because I feel like you have a good understanding and I don't want to get to a point where I'm like downplaying your points or not fully understanding what you're saying, because I feel like you're giving substance. So I'm just going to let Jeff finish this out so I can listen to you and fully understand your position.
Hey, everybody. Real quick, I just want to talk about what cultural appropriation is and when you can spot it, how you spot it. Okay. There's 3 different things that I look for. The first one is not here. It's a power imbalance. So like the conservative here does not have a power imbalance with all Taoists. The second one is the one y'all should focus on, and that's erasure, right? That's when people, like you hear it when people like rewrite our AAVE and use it their own way. They're erasing our usage of it, right?
Hey, did you know, Jeff, did you know that now they're saying unk means uncool? Not uncle, but uncool. That's unk. Anyway, go ahead. You got it, Jeff.
Well, see, there you go. And then the third one is stereotyping or mockery, which I don't think the conservative is doing. Now, I'm going to tell everybody, y'all do not have to take my word for it. The dualism in any Taoist philosophy has nothing to do with metaethics. Taoists are relativist. They actually critique the good and bad labels as things that just devolve into their extremes. But the duality in Taoism is not a meta-ethic. It's not talking about good and bad. Did you know that, the conservative?
I don't know that I would necessarily agree with that, but by all means, continue.
Y'all don't have to take, you don't have to take my word for it, right? Like, you can just look it up, right? You can talk to people who actually practice this stuff. Now, me, in meta-ethics, I think the whole thing is absurd and incoherent, and I have conversations about that with meta-ethicists, right? But what I'm not going to do is like erase the core tenets of a religion because it sounds cool. And I saw a Dragon Ball Z episode one time. That's
hold on, Jeff. Hold on. We do not do any DBZ slander here.
All right, let me take it back. I can't say One Piece because I know you like One Piece.
We can't do any anime slander.
Let's go real old school, because I've seen some episodes of Power Rangers back in the day, and I think that's some Asian stuff. Like, It's just like yin and yang has nothing to do with good and evil. It just has to do with opposites.
I would just completely disagree with you, man.
Cool. No, that's fine. Let's just we don't have to go too far into it. We'll just do this. I'm gonna keep my hands away from my computer. Look, we don't have to go too far into it. Look,
man, but I've studied it myself.
That's fine. I know you haven't, but we'll just look. We don't have to puff our chests out. Everybody in chat, just go to the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy, go to the Internet Encyclopedia of Philosophy, go to any academic work and type dualism and Taoism. And if it has to do with meta-ethics, just write Jeff is wrong. If it does not, just write Jeff is right. That's all. We don't have to go like crazy with this. We don't have to like do duck season, rabbit season. Like we don't like puff out our chest. We could just look to the source.
So you don't think dualism represents good and evil?
Well, just look at all the people saying Jeff is right in the chat.
How could when dualism is in every single aspect of life as we know it, how could it not also represent good and evil, being that they're opposing?
Well, because I'll tell you, it's kind of like it does represent good and evil, except the opposite of that. It doesn't.
Yeah, there's no substance to that statement. I mean,
the substance would be when I told people to go to the sources.
It doesn't.
Listen, look, you're not. Look, no. Your argument isn't with me, right? Like, if you have a source that says the opposite, I'll gladly look at it. But what I said, hey, everybody, go look in the sources. Go look in the academic literature. I don't know why you're talking right now. I said, go look in the academic literature and then get back to me. If they had looked in the academic literature and it disagreed with me, it's disingenuous. So they weren't looking in the academic literature.
It's disingenuous to overtalk me.
Wait.
One second. Just to make sure I have this.
You're very low, Santana.
Sorry, I turned it down so you guys can hear me chewing. Just to make sure I have this correct, are you saying that dualism or Taoism has something to do with meta ethics? Is that what you're saying?
Is that to me or to him?
No, Jeff, what can you tell me one more time what you were saying?
The dualism in Taoism does not have to do with meta ethics. It's not the right or wrong. It's just opposites in existence.
Okay. Yeah.
Are good and evil not opposites?
So, and you think that conservative, you think that it has something to do with opposites?
It does. I mean, it's literally the definition of opposites, basically. I mean, you can't give me one example in life that an opposite isn't there. I mean, like duality's in everything, man.
Yeah, and where are you getting this information from? Because I'm looking at multiple doctrines, including a study that was completed by Harvard, and like it's saying, like I don't see anything about it being necessarily opposite.
Then just give me one example of any non-dualistic situation or example. Just one.
So you're confused. I'm not saying that dualism doesn't exist. I'm saying that the dualism in any Tao has nothing to do with good and evil.
Yeah, that just doesn't compute, man. Like, I mean,
here, there's darkness and light. Is that good and evil?
It can be represented as such, yes.
But it's not good and evil, right? That's just dark and light, right?
It's commonly referred to as good and evil.
Well, that might be your Americanized representation, but Taoists do not refer to that as good and evil. What about, let's see, here's one, and I'm going to have to pause this because I don't want to do the cultural appropriation myself, but like just something simple, like soft and hard. Is that good and evil?
I wouldn't necessarily say that's good and evil. I mean,
okay. Water and fire, is that good and evil?
These are balances. No, they're not.
Those are dualities. Male and female, is that good and evil?
Sure, those are dualities. Those are example of non-meta ethic dualities. But you can't.
Cool. Which meta ethic do most Taoists?
You can't say it exists in one and not the other, because that again would be breaking dualism, man.
I'm not breaking. Listen, what do you think? What do you think my critique is? Can you reproduce my critique?
It's a law. There's a law of dualism.
Let's just take a step back. Hold on, the conservatives, so that I know that you're listening to me and not having a conversation with somebody else. Can you reproduce my critique?
And your critique on
what you said.
You're claiming that it doesn't duality and Taoism doesn't exist in meta ethics. It doesn't support meta ethics.
No,
it's not based in morality.
Okay, but that means duality does exist, right? In Taoism, I am okay with that. It just doesn't have to do with good and evil. So it's not. But look, very simple. Which meta-ethical position do Taoists hold?
Do you not think that morality stems from duality?
No. Which meta-ethical position do Taoists hold?
I didn't claim to be a Taoist. I used it as an example to help explain pantheism.
Okay,
but wait, no. Right? You said that you're a pantheist, and you said that a key part of pantheism is Taoism. That's what you said.
No, I didn't say that. I said dualism.
You literally said.
Are you going to let me finish? I said dualism is a big part of pantheism. I said Taoism it helps to explain dualism. You said you didn't know what any of those words meant.
Dualism isn't even in pantheism. Pantheism is just a regular metaphysical position that posits that the universe and God are identical. Or I don't know why it is that you're talking. I have no idea why you're talking right now. I'm trying to calculate it for myself, but it seems like you're talking in the middle of my sentence.
Responding. No,
I did. Well, in the middle of my sentence would not be the proper time to respond.
Your never-ending sentence. Okay.
My never-ending sentence. Can you reproduce my never-ending sentence?
Come on, man, dude.
It sounds like you can't. So let me start over. Since you interrupted me, my never-ending sentence. It was finite, but look, I'm just going to restart again. Since right now, all you're doing is trying to find a way to be rude and not be held accountable for it. Stop interrupting. Pantheism is just a metaphysical position that posits that the universe and God are one and the same. It could be that the universe is a manifestation of God, or that the universe is God itself. That's what it is. But I'm going to ask the question that you dodged before. Which meta-ethical position do Taoists hold?
I'm going to respond to the statement that you just made. Dualism is in everything. We agreed there, correct?
Wrong. You did not agree to that.
It doesn't exist in meta-ethic, but it exists in everything outside of that.
You're confused. I said the dualism, I don't know, I'm responding.
Why are you talking? Why are you
dualism?
Talking?
Because I'm responding to your question, and the answer. Well, you asked me a question. So you didn't want the answer to the question? Okay, go ahead.
You're doing the exact same thing that you just accused me of, sir.
So I was mistaken. I apologize. I thought you wanted an answer to the question you asked, but apparently you did not. Go ahead, continue.
I was trying to respond, but you're trying to break train of thought by interrupting now. So it's pointless, man. You're being a hypocrite.
I apologize.
You like to drag out your responses, and then when I go to try to rebuttal one of your points, you like to talk over me. But when
listen,
I rebuttal one of your points,
listen, Snowflake.
Stop talking. Why are you talking? It's Snowflake.
Listen, Snowflake, because you're complaining now. This has nothing to do with the self.
I would just like to jump in and say, like, I would like for this to actually continue and be like a conversation. And conservative Jeff apologized for cutting you off, and he stopped and he said, go ahead. So like at this point, you're what we in the Black community call dragging it. You have the floor. Would you like to finish your point?
Yeah, so I was saying dualism exists in everything. I disagree with you. If you say it doesn't exist in metaethics, that's your opinion. But it exists in everything. You can't give me one example where it doesn't exist and substantiate that. You can't just say it doesn't exist because it doesn't exist. And if God and the universe are one and the same, and dualism is in everything in that universe, well, guess what that means? And I'll allow you to respond now.
Okay. Just in meta ethics, because there are three branches of meta ethics. There's moral realism, there's moral anti-realism, and then there is the position that Taoists hold, which is error theory. Error theory is not one of the other two. So is that two? Dualism means two, right? Or is that three?
It means two. It means a balance.
Okay. And so I said there's moral realism, moral anti-realism, and error theory. That's three, right?
Yeah, but that's not an example of dualism, man. Those are
okay. So to be clear,
categories that are
okay. So to be clear, there in meta ethics, there's not dualism. Okay. Error theory is a position that says that moral statements are all false.
Nah, man.
Okay, we'll do it again. Hey, everybody here, just Google this. Are Taoist error theorists, and is error theory the position that holds that moral statements are false? And then we'll do the Jeff is right, Jeff is wrong again.
And while they look that up really quick, W's in the chat for Brooke. Hey, Brooke, who sent $1 donation saying he should play football. His pivots could break ankles. Yeah, that is wild. W's in the chat for Jesse. Cousin Jesse, what up? Who sent a $2 dono saying, agree, cousin, no anime slander will be tolerated, Jeff. To give clarity to give charity to Jeff, the Power Rangers franchise is in the US is based off of Super Nentai franchise in Japan that ran from 1979 to present. It's still going. Holy shit. W's in the chat for Jelly, who sent a $5 donation saying, very unpopular opinion. There's no such thing as good and evil, just life, chemistry, and energy. What we consider evil, people have altered brain chemistry with biology/life experience. That kind of sounds like what Jeff has been saying this entire time. I don't know. W's in the chat for the donos. Guys, if you like to support the live, you can do so. Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana Speaks for You is the best way to support the live if you're over on YouTube. You can send a super chat. I will read that out. 1.4 thousand people hanging out here, or 1.5 thousand people hanging out. Guys, look up right here. If you see the word follow, you're not following me. Hit that follow button. We're so close to 100,000 followers. We only have 45 new followers on this stream. Please, please, please hit that follow button. If you're over on YouTube, make sure you're giving the VOD a thumbs up. It'll push it out more, but make sure you hit that follow button. We're like 500 followers away from 20,000 followers over on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram, Twitch, everywhere. Santana Speaks for You. Last but not least, show Jeff some love, because Jeff isn't even over 1,000 coins and he's been up here doing some heavy lifting. Guys, please, please, please show Jeff some love. Please, please, please show Jeff some love. Make sure that you are gifting him, following him, but also hit his pay links. All right, Jeff, floor is yours.
So the reason I'm doing this, the conservative, is not because I want to shame you, right? It's because I'm here to address the Bob and Row 6 contingency of this. If you have some worldview that you espouse, and credit to you, Santana, because you weren't going into the labels. You're doing exactly what should be done, is just saying, hey, if this is your worldview and it includes this, we'll address it directly. That's fine. You can have whatever worldview you want. But when you start attaching it to labels that already exist and already exist in the literature and already have a historical and cultural basis where people practice it and there's records for that, then we're heading into problematic territory, because we're heading into an area where you're kind of sapping off, being parasitic on a culture that isn't yours without understanding the culture, and then going out into the world and saying, this is that culture. And that's a problem, right? Like, it would be a problem if I did it for any culture that isn't mine. I would think if somebody came and told me what the significance of plantains were for Dominican people, I would be upset if they were not really reading, right? So, like, with all of that said, I'm not even here to attack your worldview, even though I think your worldview is false. That has nothing to do with anything for me. I just want you to stop appropriating other people's cultures.
Yeah, and how did I appropriate another's culture? By mentioning it to help explain my beliefs. How is that appropriating it?
Very simple. You just don't know anything about it, and you speak as if you do.
Yeah, I would disagree with that, man.
Okay, look, we can clear this up. I've provided several sources to the audience, and they've corroborated the sources that I've provided, right?
So you would say metaethics is basically the study of morality and its existence, right? Does morality have dualism in it?
No.
How so?
Because not all positions in metaethics posit that moral statements are truth apt.
Is there not people in this world that morally believe that killing is just? I mean, is that not true?
There are 3 positions.
Don't go back to that. There's actually only 2, but we'll stop there.
Okay, fine. I'll give you the 3 positions. There are people that believe that unaliving is just. There are people that believe that unaliving is unjust. And then there are people that believe that to say either is incoherent. Those would be non-cognitivists.
I don't see your reasoning for saying there's people. The third doesn't exist, man.
The third does exist. Oh, we'll do it again. Can everybody just look up non-cognitivism? Look, I don't know why now you're interrupting me. So can everybody just look up non-cognitivism in the academic literature and tell me if that is a position that says that moral statements are not truth apt? They can't be true or false. And then we'll do this again. Jeff is wrong. Jeff is right.
But they still lean one way or the other. So it's a spectrum.
If they're not truth apt, they can't be true or false. They can't lean one way or the other.
So you're saying there's just a big percentage of people that are walking around that are just neutral on morality?
It's a part of the literature. Now, why are we moving the goalpost?
We're not moving any goalposts. I'm asking you, is that what you're trying to tell me?
I'm telling you that a part of the literature has that are
just neutral, that they don't have any moral beliefs one way or the other.
I'm telling you that there are more than 2 positions there's more than 2 positions in metaethics. There's dozens of positions in normative ethics. There are thousands of positions in applied ethics. You don't know any of them. You maybe you know of 2 of them, if that.
Well, there's really only 2 that exist, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So you have an argument falsifying non-cognitivism.
What is metaethics, Jeff?
Metaethics is the study of the nature of morality.
Sure. Okay. So the conversation isn't really about metaethics. It's about morality, correct?
No, it's about the nature and existence of morality. You have to establish its existence before you can say what it is.
Right. And metaethics doesn't objectively exist, does it? Or is that a creation?
That's a category error question.
So dualism, I mean, it technically shouldn't even exist in that because it doesn't exist, but morality does exist. So why don't we focus on
let's get the argument that morality exists.
Let's just focus on morality itself.
Okay, fine. So give me the argument that morality, like, what do you mean by exist when you say morality exists?
Well, because it's objective, like you can observe that morality exists.
Okay, so give me the argument that morality exists objectively. You're about to get a Nobel Prize, by the way.
I was. I mean, you can. I mean, it's objective to people to see that morality exists. There's literally our entire country is divided by 2 parties based on what I would consider morality. The entire world is divided upon it, man. I mean, I don't understand how you can say that morality isn't dualistic.
I just demonstrated it several ways. I don't know if you're not tracking.
No, you haven't demonstrated it. You went back to metaethics and told me the 3 categories of metaethics.
No, I gave you normative ethical categories. Non-cognitivism is a branch. Listen. What you know, I'm convinced now. I'm convinced now that what you know about meta ethics and normative ethics, I could fit in a teaspoon. I'm convinced of that. I don't care about that. How does this relate to the topic,
sir? Like you're avoiding my question. You're avoiding substantiating your claim.
I substantiated it. I gave you sources. What? Look. Okay, cool. So I didn't give any sources. Give me a source for your claim. Give me a source for your claim. Go ahead.
I don't need a source for my claim. It's objective. It's everywhere.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Cool.
What do you mean a source for my claim?
So we don't have a source or an argument. Can we go back to the topic now, please?
I was trying to give my argument and you interrupted. You have twice now. I'm not. I'm just pointing that out. But again, give me an example of how dualism does not exist in morality.
I did. All you're saying is nuh-uh. Okay, look, why don't you look up it? Stop talking. Stop talking.
I'm giving you multiple
examples.
talking.
Stop talking. Stop talking.
No, I'm not going to stop talking. It's my turn, sir.
Okay, cool. You asked me a question and then you kept chatterwadding. All right. Listen, look up non-cognitivism for yourself.
I don't need to look up non-cognitive.
So you don't care about the answer. Okay, cool. So let's get back to the political topic.
An answer. You didn't give an answer. You're telling me to go look something up. That's not an answer.
Cool. All right, cool. So
pause for
you want it.
Pause for a second if you guys don't mind. So I just wanted to say really quick because it looks like let's see here. Sorry, 1 second. There was a poll that was placed in the TikTok and also YouTube stream, and it looks like with 32 votes yes to start the kick fund, 11 for no, let Jeff cook. Over on TikTok, it's 81% or 82% to 18%. So the decision has been made. Conservative, tighten up. You now have a $150 bounty on your head for a kick fund. What that means is that, like, as long as you can actually keep it in the lines and the chat isn't over you, you get to stay. But if you get to the point where they're over you and they pay the kick, then you are gone. So again, chat, this is not based off of previous conversations. This is based on moving forward and based off of the conversation moving forward. $100 kick funds. It has to go through the pay links, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and links are in the bio. And it is the kick fund. Again, it is not based off of the previous parts of the conversation. It's moving forward. All right. Sorry. You guys got it.
Okay. So how are we moving
real
forward?
quick. Since we're not going to look it up for ourselves, this is the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy talking about moral cognitivism versus non-cognitivism. And we'll just read. I'm just going to zoom in here. Non-cognitivism is a variety of irrealism, meaning moral anti-realism, about ethics with a number of influential variants. Non-cognitivists agree with error theorists that there are no moral properties or moral facts. Do you see that? No moral properties or moral facts. What do we have now? Where are we now? How are we going to disagree with the academic literature? Go ahead.
Well, I would agree that morality is subjective. I would agree there. But what I wouldn't agree with is that there's not dualism in morality. Because that is objective. We can see that. We can see we can see the opposites, man. I mean, to just say that they're not there is ignorant, man. I mean,
what does this phrase mean? And I'm not worried about whether you agree or disagree with it. But when you say there are no moral properties or moral facts, what do you think that means?
Why are you avoiding my contention? Why are you avoiding it?
Because it's not addressing the actual sentence.
No, we're not debating. You're not debating.
So let's first get clear that you understand what the sentence is.
You're not debating it. I'm stating a premise and you're not debating it. I'm telling you that dualism is morality is dualism. Morality is a dualistic structure. Okay.
Give me some substantiation for that.
Well, again, I've told you, I mean, you can look at every aspect of life and see duality in it.
Okay. So one of the aspects of life is my laptop. I just looked at the Stanford Encyclopedia of Philosophy. That's written by people who are alive.
How does your
They are moral philosophers, right? And those moral philosophers have an article on non-cognitivism. And that non-cognitivism article says that there is a position that posits that there are no moral properties or moral facts. Now, my question is, what does that mean to you? What do you think that means?
I'm sorry, repeat that again.
So I looked around and I found an article in the academic literature about non-cognitivism that says that there are no moral properties or moral facts, that's one position in meta-ethics and in normative ethics. I would like to know what you think that means.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that there is no, I mean, that morality is subjective.
That's not what that's saying.
That there is no moral facts. How is it
when it says no moral facts, that means that there aren't even subjective moral facts.
It means that morality is not subjective. There is no moral facts. That means that, I'm sorry, it means that morality is not objective. We can't objectively see morality. Morality is based on worldview. It's based on it's based on what you would call meta ethics.
Can I reground the conversation just to let everyone know how we kind of got here, because we went like down this entire rabbit hole. The reason why we're in this like spot that we're in right now is because conservative said that the reason why he voted for Donald Trump is because of his worldview, which is worldview upholds the value of all life. And then we started going down the premise of how Donald Trump and the Republican Party goes against the value of all life. We narrowed in into abortion. We started talking about how that doesn't outweigh all the other aspects of life. And then we started talking about like the factors of his actual worldview and belief. And now it's kind of like falling apart. So just an FYI for anyone that's trying to figure out how we ended up here. Anyway, you guys got it.
I voted for Trump because he was against the grain. I believe that the negative aspect.
You're now changing what you said.
Are you going to let me finish?
Yeah, but you're changing what you said.
How did I change what I said?
You said the reason why you voted for Trump, you said that because you don't believe in abortion, you think all life is sacred, and you wanted someone to uphold that life.
And you'll remember that I said that I'm not a one-party issue voter. I said that was one of the main primary reasons I voted for Donald Trump. I did throw that in there. I guess you missed that. But again, I'll start again. The reason why I voted for Trump, one of the biggest reasons why I voted for Trump, is that he went against the grain of the political system that we've had since the dawn of this country. It was very obvious how he ruffled feathers and went against the grain. Both parties attacked Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a Democrat before, he's a Republican now. His political views align somewhere in the middle, if we're being honest. And that's the reason why I voted for him.
Yeah, I'm a little confused because one, I haven't been there. Like at no point did I say anything about like, why did you vote for Trump? I mean, like that's almost 2 years ago too. Even still, like wouldn't your worldview guide you towards voting or supporting someone who conflicts with your worldview? And number three, you started with white men in power. I'm not sure how that connects. Can you tie all of it together?
If I granted you your position and that he's opposing my worldview, I could easily say that he was the lesser of two evils.
Can you substantiate that?
I mean, and then
Can you substantiate
how so?
Sure. If you're saying that he's the lesser of two evils, can you substantiate the more evil of the other candidate, which was Kamala Devi Harris?
Sure, because if Harris would have been in office, abortion would have been rampant and illegal immigration would have been rampant.
Well, that's not true because we've already established, though, that like with abortion, ever since Donald Trump appointed the Supreme Court justices, abortion, and they overturned Roe, abortion is up. So literally, the people that you support caused a increase in abortions, which is an issue that you have. So that's not a true statement.
Did Trump not leave it up to the states individually?
No, Donald Trump appointed Supreme Court justices with the intent of overturning Roe. And since the overturning of Roe has occurred, abortions are now higher than prior to the overturning of Roe.
So is abortion now illegal in all states?
No, abortion is illegal in some states, but there's unequal access to health care across the country, depending on where you live.
So the stats that you claim that abortion is now increasing, where are those stats being? I mean, it has to be coming from the states where abortion is legal, which it would increase considering the fact that some states have now made it illegal.
Yeah, it speaks to the fact that with other people who are making the decisions are making quicker decisions because of the restrictive laws that are being put in place. And also people are traveling out of their states to other states in order to gain access to healthcare since their states are restricting healthcare. But again, that does not negate the fact that since Donald Trump appointed the Supreme Court justices with the intent of overturning Roe, abortions have increased because the lack of access, people are going to more extreme circumstances instead of actually taking their time to make the decision. So again, your premise as far as voting for the lesser of two evil, literally the person that you voted for supported the increase in abortions. Also, FYI, guys, there's a $150 bounty on the conservative's head. We are currently at 42 of the 150 bounties. So if you want them up out the paint, Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, pay links and link tree in the bio. Santana speaks to you. So speaks for you. So can you speak to what I just said as far as like that completely conflicts with your worldview and also the facts now?
Yeah, I don't think that it does, man. Again, would you say that federally outlawing all abortions would end abortion completely? Or do you think women would still manage to obtain abortions illegally?
What does that have to do with anything?
Can I just point out that what you said, and I just want to make, we'll reset real quick, right? You said that if Kamala Harris had gotten into office, abortions would have been rampant. I assume you mean they would have increased. Is that correct?
Sure, they definitely.
Okay. They definitely would have. I don't think you have the data to support that. But Santana is saying that Donald Trump is in office, has overturned Roe, and a number of abortions has increased. So now the thing that you said would happen under Kamala Harris has happened under Donald Trump.
Where would that data come from is what I'm asking you. So for there to
anybody who measures it, like for starters, the CDC.
Right. So for there to be data, it would have to be, there would have to be polls taking in those states where it's legal, correct?
It's a nationwide thing, so it's also taken in places where it's not legal.
Yeah, well, how are abortions taking place in places where it's not legal?
Santana already told you people leave the state.
How are they getting information on that?
It's something that's measured. Doctors have to keep track of these things.
So again, you're missing the point. It's not just about it being quote unquote illegal, because there's only a handful of states where it's completely illegal. The actual premise is that people are having to make quicker decisions instead of actually taking time to make their decisions, because with Roe, they had the protections to make the decisions up to 24 weeks. But now where there's other areas where like South Carolina or Florida, or who has like heartbeat laws where you have to make the decision within 6 weeks, people are making those decisions quicker instead of just waiting. So it's not just about those areas where it's illegal. It's about those areas that have put these extreme restrictive measures in place, and people are making the decisions quicker than they would have before. So they're not taking time to like think, is this something that I really want to do? They're saying, I can't do this now.
Yeah, that's a good thing, man, because 24 weeks is diabolical. Like that's
so again, your entire premise now is false. You don't care about the actual holding. You don't care about, because again, wait. You just said no. You said conservative. You said that you cared about the conservation of life. You cared about life, but now you're saying it's a good thing that the rate of abortions have increased because people are making quicker decisions instead of taking the time to make better decisions.
No, you're straw manning my argument.
That's literally what you just said.
No, it isn't. I said it's a good thing that he overturned it because waiting up to 24 weeks.
So it's a good thing that there's more abortions.
It's diabolical to wait that long.
So it's a good thing that there's more abortions.
It's diabolical to do it in general.
Conservative.
But you want
conservative.
You want to wait 24 weeks.
Follow me on this. Follow me on this. You said that it's a good thing that he overturned Roe, right? That's what you just said.
Agree with that.
Okay, perfect. I've told you that the overturning of Roe has increased abortions in the country, right?
But yeah, okay. So that point right there.
I just need you to understand that the overturning of Roe has resulted in increased abortions. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you're saying that Donald Trump, no, I need you to follow me. We're connecting the dots. We're connecting the dots. We're connecting the dots. You said it's a good thing that Donald Trump overturned Roe.
Yes.
I'm saying as a result of overturning Roe, there's more abortions. Are you saying, are you by proxy? Hey, I'm going to finish my sentence. I don't understand why you keep trying to talk in the middle of my sentence. I haven't been muting you this entire time, but if I have to mute you just to finish my sentence, I will. Like you're running from it because you already see it.
I know you'll mute me.
Yes, so stop. So fucking stop. Like I haven't been muting you this whole time, but you're trying to run from it because you see it.
No, because man, you guys call me snowflake and stuff and crashing out, but you mute people, bro. When you can't contend with what's being.
Now, why are you talking while he's talking?
Exactly.
That's the question.
Now, cry harder on mute. The point that I was making, that you said it was a good thing that Roe was overturned. And then you said, you said it was a good thing that Roe was overturned. I told you as a product of Roe being overturned, there's been an increase in abortions. So by proxy, you think an increase of abortions is a good thing. Because if you didn't think an increase of abortions would be a good thing, then there's no way that you could hold to in the overturning of Roe being a good thing. Those two are diametrically opposed. If you want less abortions, you should have Roe. If you don't want Roe, then you're going to have more abortions. There's no overturning Roe with less abortions. That's not a thing.
Why are there more on the numbers? Why are there more abortions?
I've already told you.
You haven't.
You weren't listening.
I'm going to demonstrate that he told you by reproducing it. That's fine. That's fine. He didn't tell you. And to demonstrate that he didn't tell you, I'm going to tell you what he didn't say. He didn't say that people are making the decision faster because the limits are. He didn't say that they're moving over to states and so to speak, this is making the decision quicker because of the limits. He didn't say any of that, right?
So what you're telling me is they're going to a state where it's legal, right?
Is
that what you're saying? You're telling me that?
Yes.
Okay, so there's your reason why the numbers are increasing.
Okay, wait a minute. You say that's a complete.
Listen to me.
That is a complete red herring. It doesn't matter. You said, listen. The fact remains. Stop before they mute you again. No, it's not. Stop talking. Okay, really quickly. You said that the numbers would go up under Kamala. They went up under Trump. Square that circle. Let's stop obfuscating. Let's stop running and just square the circle that you said the numbers would go up under Kamala. I'm not even a Kamala fan for real. But you said they would, but they did go up under Trump. Let's address that directly.
The numbers themselves, the statistics are showing that it's up, but it's actually not, because those abortions would have still taken place given the state that they were in if it was legal. They're going to get an abortion.
You're literally wrong.
I'm not wrong.
You're literally wrong. you know where the abortions have increased?
In states where it's legal, because they had to go there to get it done.
Abortions have increased in Georgia. Abortions have increased in Florida. Abortions have increased in North Carolina. Abortions have increased in Kansas. Abortions have increased in Oklahoma. All of those states that are quote unquote red states have seen an increase in abortions since the overturning of Roe. And this is from the KFF. This is literally from the KFF. I've told you, but you didn't listen. You literally didn't listen.
You're not listening, man.
Why did I say that? Why did I say that? Why did I say?
I'm trying to answer you. It's higher in those states because it is illegal for them to obtain it. They still live in those states.
It's not. This is the last time I'm going to explain this to you. I need you to put your fucking listening ears on. The reason why it's higher in those states is because they're not completely illegal. There are now stricter constraints as far as being able to obtain abortions, such as 6-week abortion bans, meaning that after 6 weeks, you cannot gain access to abortions. So instead of people taking the time and making a decision, they are making a snap decision and saying, I would rather have this abortion now than wait for too long, and it's no longer an option. People are now in places like Florida, Georgia. Did he fucking run? He fucking ran. He fucking ran. You coward. You coward.
That's embarrassing.
After, when I tell you that he's been in my inbox day after day after day, literally day after day after day in my inbox, sending me requests to come into some random lives and all this other shit, and in the chat every day watching. And he did all that just to run. He did all that just to run. Ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way. W's in chat for all the donos. I'm going to read off some thank yous here in a moment, but let's see if we have anyone else here that's here for a debate. Only request up. If you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, we're only looking for some debates. Only request up. If you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background, we're only looking for some debates. If you're friendly, tap the screen, share the live, send your daily heart me. Hey, Jackie, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background? Jackie, are you a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background? Drop you down. I don't know if this person's going to load. Okay, I don't think this person's going to load. Guys, only request up if you're a Trump supporter or disagree with anything on the background. We're only looking for some debates. A couple of quick thank yous. In the meantime, W's in the chat for Rust Belt for the $5 super chat to say, we're talking religion when we're talking about our government. This is a question. Does he not get the two are supposed to be separate in the country? Exactly. W's in the chat for Malachi, who sent out 5 membership subscriptions over on YouTube. W's in the chat. Thank you so much for that. W's in the chat for Angie for the $5 towards the kick fund. W's in the chat for Patricia, $5 towards the kick fund. W's in the chat for Bobby for the $10. This guest hasn't said anything new since the first 5 minutes kick. W's in the chat for Serena for the $20. Said this guy's so stupid, such a some Trumper thing to do. This is why I say this is because I think it, not because it's true. Exactly. W's in the chat for Michael for the $10 donation. Sorry, but the crashes and bruised ego deflection. All of this is making my head spin. Thank you, Santana, for reeling us back in. Absolutely. W's in the chat for cousin Jesse for the 2. It seems like the majority of people that live in your neurons are not firing at all. Not exactly. You're not tracking the conversation. So let's level set. He's repeated himself multiple times about abortion ban, and you're still not trying to get it. I think he was being willfully obtuse, honestly. W's in the chat for Lady for the $10 towards the kick fund. W's in the chat for Alicia for the $5, saying forcing pregnant people to carry unviable pregnancies is more diabolical than allowing people and their doctors to decide. More abortions are occurring because the risks are higher. Thank you for educating the unwilling. Yeah, they would. Yeah. W's in the chat for Joshua. This came in before the kick fund, but Joshua sent 15, said, appreciate everything that you do. I appreciate you, Joshua. W's in the chat for Andrea for the 2 for the kick fund. W's in the chat for Jimmy. Jimmy sent 50, said, release us from this wishy-washy flip-flopping fool. W's in the chat for I think it's pronounced Isdro, who sent a dollar donation, said, hi. W's in the chat for all the donos, guys. W's in the chat for all the donos. You guys are freaking awesome. W's in the chat for each and every person that added to the kick fund. Sam, hi. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Hello.
Hi, Sam. Are you a Trump supporter or disagree with something on the background?
Fuck Keir Starmer. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. Jeff, did you have any thank yous that you needed to get off?
No, but I think you've inspired me a second time.
Really?
Oh man. Yeah, I'm looking through this and you have inspired me a second time. What y'all don't know is that Santana, through his mere presence, lowered the price of one of the tiers of the Extinction Files, which is the paid section of my website, from $5 to $2 permanently just by being here. And now he's done it again. And I think by the end of today, the second tier is going to lower in price just by his presence. That's insane. I don't know how you do it.
I wouldn't give myself too much credit, I don't know if I'll say all that.
But like, matter of fact, if you go to my website, you'll actually see it says powered by Santana Jones. I didn't write that. He just his presence snuck in and did the thing. So that's bonkers. W's to Santana in the chat. Crazy work.
Yeah. All right, guys. So we don't have anyone in the box, and I want to keep it going. And so this is what I'm thinking. Or wait, hold on. Oh, he dropped out. All right. We don't have anyone in the box, but I do want to keep it going. And so I'm thinking that we're going to hit a reset and come right back. So we'll hit a quick reset and we'll be back in just a few minutes. But what I will say as well is I'm going to take a quick moment to use the bathroom. And so we'll be right back. So give me just a few moments. I think instead of, you know what? Yeah,
I do have one quick W for Elisha in the chat for the $5 over Venmo. And we did try to educate the conservative bud tender. So they said, thank you for trying to educate the conservative bud tender, despite his unwillingness. Unwillingness to learn is a terrible thing. It's a disease.
Yeah, it is. All right, guys, I'm going to just, we'll hit a restart, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram. We're going to close everything out. We'll be back. Give me like 5 minutes tops. Let me use the bathroom, refill my drinks, maybe make another cup of coffee, and then we'll get back into it. All right. I'll be back, everyone.